explaining now is totally different from what we prepare, so we will improvise. We will do things more personal, so we will tell us our experience as the first interns, and then now we decide to catch the opportunity to change everything in our life. Not to work for a person, for a specific boss, but to work for ourselves, which is totally a mess, but it's really good. What I'm talking about, this is in really few words what we are developing now, a mobile application, a web application. But firstly, I want to specify which is the process that brought up to bring to the market this kind of product. We worked in different companies, different fields. And Marco was working on a project with ABC Consulting, a consultancy company that is working on specific softwares for HR management. So HR management will like performance appraisal and things like that. And it was really, really good because he understood how to serve the client needs and to train the clients on a specific software. So that's why Marco today is really important for us. Really, really important. He's our analyst. On the other side, I was working with Networking, another consultancy company, that was focusing its efforts on building like team building sessions for managers that already lost their job and they are looking for a new one. So we were doing like stuff that were totally different. At one time, we worked for about 1 year for this company, more or less. We decided to change everything because I saw that team building wasn't working so well. I mean, it's something that is already past. People are not so engaged. And it's difficult for us as professionals to pass the theories and the substance behind playing basket or playing volleyball. So it was just a day where you bring the organization and you put the people outside to play. It wasn't useless for me. For Marco, I can ask you directly what you gather from your experience.
From my experience, I saw that, especially in our field, HR consultancy, I saw that companies buy softwares. I really like the business of software and HR combined. I've seen many companies say, I need a software to manage my HR, actually everything, from performance appraisal to curriculum managing and whatever. So companies like to have all their processes in a program, in a single program, and to be more efficient in that way. So while studying in the master in the WOPP, I saw an opportunity to merge technology and psychology. So because we do consultancy, mostly with questionnaires, especially in Italy, I don't know in many parts of the world, but I guess you go into a company, you use a questionnaire, a paper questionnaire, and then you leave. You have to block everyone. They have to go in a room. They have to fill in the questionnaire, and then you leave. And you analyze the data, and then you give a report. So I saw what company buy, which is a software to manage HR, and they say, okay, we are consultants, we can use a software ourselves to do that. So no more questionnaires, no more paper questionnaires, no more room full of people that have to stop working and go into a room. But what if we can use a software? We can use an app with a phone to install on employees' phone and use that to do consultancy, any type of consultancy actually. Because you go into a company and you use a paper questionnaire for whatever, climate surveys, stress, work-related stress questionnaires, and it also performance appraisal. So what if we want to take all these processes that are done on paper and put them on mobile? And how can we, at the same time, increase engagement of the workers? Because when a consultant comes into a company, everyone is scared. So if you're using a software, and how can you make it more efficient and also more engaging? So that was the main challenge.
That's right. But it's not all the things that we passed. It's just his part plus mine. What really we saw during this year was that our professor were really in troubles because they got really a lot of clients, and for us it was amazing because they had a lot of work to do, but no people not resources to do that. And also the time that university spend to have the contract ready for the private sector and to serve the intervention is really long. So the 50 or the 60% of the partners that are working with the university cannot wait, so they go away. So the idea, firstly, was to help them to serve as more clients as possible. But then we had an observation that it's not only a matter of doing consultancy, because it's getting old, and all the consultants are fighting between each other to get the only client that is free. So we needed to add, as Marco told you, a component that was new to the market and that they were not used to do or to use. This is what I'm looking for, and what I'm telling you, that it's a product that works as a web application, so you can imagine it as a website, normal website. It works on your mobile, on your iPad, on your iPhone, on your computer. So it's totally free and flexible in respect to the person he has in front of you. So if you are 50, 60 years old and you are not used to the telephone or the smartphone, you can use your PC. You want to do it on paper? Unfortunately, we can do it also on paper. But if you want to use a smart kind of work with the application, we can manage all the process of evaluation and feedbacks just using an application and a mobile phone. So, it works like this. Firstly, we want to specify that giving you an application doesn't mean that we don't work with you. We just leave the application and we earn money. We go to the company and we discuss, as always, what's the problem, what's the needs, and the employees are trained to use the application with us, and specifically with Marco, which is the technician in this side. And we make a sample for 1 day with fakes, knowns, and people are getting, let's say, the try with the application until they know how to use it. This is the first part. Then we put inside, thanks to the university, a set of items that has validity compared to the other consultants that can, let's say, describes any kind of intervention. You can do assessment, you can do evaluate climate, you can evaluate whatever you want. And this is important because when you go to a client and you offer just one thing, you have 1% of option and of chance that he will buy this product. But if you go to a client, you ask for his specific needs, and then you are flexible to put his needs inside your application, that is only a channel, a methodology. You can do everything, because everyone has needs. So, we set the question on the mobile phone of the workers, and they use it for 1 month or 2, we decided with the company. Their object is to describe the behavior of their colleagues, supervisors, collaborators. In this way, we wanted to achieve one simple object. We want to know how many times specific behavior connected with soft skills are displayed in the workplace. So for example, I'm working with Marco, and you ask him, how many times Andrea is using email or telephone calls to communicate with you? And he has a Likert scale, of course, where he indicates from 1 to 5, displayed in smiles. I'm using this kind of channel to communicate with you. So we basically obtain the same data we are obtaining with the questionnaire, with the papers, but we are doing an engaging methodology to feel the employee and also the clients secure and engaged. And so we provide the same amount of data without asking people to be on our work, without telephoning every day, without sending email because they don't want to collaborate. They are, let's say, happy to collaborate with us, and they see that there's a double object. One object is for the company that has an amount of data that we analyze and provide them. The other thing is that we provide a real-time feedback to the user. So if you want to do a questionnaire, it's no more you answer 100 questions and you wait 6 months. You answer 16, 17 questions in 1 day or every 2-3 days, and you obtain in 2 weeks or 3 a graph, a radar graph that displays how many objects you achieved, how many times you display the behavior connected to soft skills, and how you can improve. So a first feedback. Of course, after that, we come back to the organization and we discuss about intervention. That can be everything, as I told you. Training, job rotation, job redesign, everything. So, this is the important part for WOPP psychology. We spent a lot of time thinking about which kind of theories are the best to begin with the first application, because we didn't have a lot of money. Actually, we don't have a lot of money. So we decided to put inside the 360 feedback methodology, but not to evaluate performance appraisal. But we want to use it just to know how the people act on the work, and to provide them a feedback that helps them to develop themselves, and not to be fired or promoted. So we asked the participants to evaluate this four figure and themselves. And the items that we put inside are connected with these soft skills. In particular, we have this other dimension here. I don't know if you can read it really well. But we bring this model and this methodology inside the application.
How do you choose the scales that you use? The items are all validated?
That's a good question. We were really confused because there's a lot that we can give to the market. So we came back to the university and we asked directly to our professor which are the services that are most, let's say, less expensive, but also that are easier to sell. They told us that performance appraisal is really a mess for people because they don't like to be evaluated and it generates a lot of chaos. So we asked Professor Mariani. I don't know if you know him, but he's a great guy and he works a lot with performance appraisal. So he had this idea and he told us, why don't we try to put soft skills instead of hard skills? So we evaluate something that is not, let's say, the core of the person that the organization already knows. But we put, like, in parallel, something that is focused more on development. Because millennials and organizations are asking these kind of things. So people are leaving the organization. Talents are going away from their jobs because they don't like it and they don't have the opportunity to grow. With this kind of methodology, we provide two insights. The first, the company, because you tell them you can see the structure of your people, and of course, how many times the trainings that you are doing are transported in parallel on the work, so from theory to behavior. The second thing is that we calculated a web, an informal communication web of the workers, which is totally different from their organigram, and displays how people interact in the organization. Two basic information, but if you try to triangulate them, when it goes out, that it's really important.
Yeah, you get the informal communication of the company that seems to be the most powerful source of information.
Yeah, these are the outcomes. Of course, you have the graphics. So we ask firstly all the data is connected with the workers. The second one is what I told you, the evaluation of the soft skills and the behavior associated with soft skills. We have a double Likert scale based on our 5 soft skills. The blue column is external evaluation, and the self-evaluation is the orange one. So you can see these people in marketing department, the main soft skills that they are using is actualization, but they are not really strong on decision making. And then you can see also if people think to act really good and if they act really good. Because one evaluation is a perception of myself. The other one is a mean of all the colleagues and supervisor. So it has a different weight.
Excuse me, just one question to understand. If you go back on slide, please.
Yeah.
So if you put it to 100%, you always say something is bigger and something is smaller automatically. How can you measure the difference of somebody who has everything quite low or somebody who has everything quite high?
let's say that it's difficult to obtain this kind of data. The more common thing is that since we have a lot of evaluation, everything stands about at 3.0, so at the mean, at the average. But triangulating this one with the informal communication, we can see which specific soft skills are lower than the other. And sometimes, often, let's say, there are one or two important soft skills. So this is the first question. Second thing, the consultancy is not able at the moment with the papers to have the film of the organization. So yesterday was like this, I take 6 months, today is like that. But during this period, you don't know what happened. So you don't know if other variables can interfere with the intervention, and so if your level are fake or real. Right. With this one, this progresses, let's say, the workers can see every 2 weeks, or every 1 week, or every month, we decided, how it's going about the 5 soft skills. So it has like a wider view about his behavior, and you can improve every day. So it receives really fast feedback. This is the second outcome that we calculate. This is the social network analysis. I don't know if someone of you knows this intervention. For example, here we have the departments that are the colors of the dots. And here we have 2 types of information. Which people are the most searched, so in terms of prestige, which are the 3, 4, 6 people that helps the organization to spread the communication. And which are the people that connect the department. Because the second really big problem is that the organization focuses only on few people to spread information. If they got fired, they get ill, the work stops. So this is a second point of view that is important.
This is like generic information, or you actually get the name of the people?
We cannot. We can ask the name of the people only to provide their individual results on their personal devices. But when we talk to the organization, we don't put name and so on.
You get positions, then you put positions.
For subject 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we act on the group. We know
So
the names.
what's the point of having subject 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What's the point of presenting it if you don't know who they are?
If you buy my consultancy, I know the names and I'm talking to them. But you cannot manage by yourself the singular people. Because I don't know if you are an ethic person or not, and what will you do.
Okay, and but you will provide feedback, knowing information, and you will not say the names, but yeah.
Of course, we are going to personalize. This is really general. But we can stretch every department,
Okay.
and you can see how it's working. So, what we were lacking, this was the first part of our job. We made really a solid background, but we were looking at ourselves and we were asking, what if the people will not use it? Because it's too heavy. Because at the end, I'm asking them about their colleagues. And so, what's the game? What's the substance for them? For people, as I was telling to Francois, we were discussing yesterday night, simplicity is the key. So you have few actions, but you need to understand the logic. This works for every application. So we searched the web and found on Razzle, on Facebook, on other applications, what was the key point, let's say, the logic. And what we saw is that mainly there are few buttons, few actions, but they are really well explained. So the people just repeat action over time because they receive rewards or because they are just curious, like in Facebook. This is an example of the experience that we provide to the organization. Some of them don't want a game experience, a gamified one, so we provide just questionnaires to the people. The others organization, mostly international and multinational organization, want to try a new methodology because they are always asking to the same consultants and they always obtain the same data. So Marco, if you want to go on, I switch a little bit because it's always
gamified. So how do you make people use an application like have any questions so far about what has been said?
What's the length of the whole experience? Is it something that you recommend? As in, I understand they are being evaluated at certain points of time. It's not one time and then you deliver. It's like several weeks. So is it the client who like tells you I want to this to continue for 3 months, or is there a better time of the year to do it, or how long does it last usually?
It depends. Mostly, you get to ask that organization. They say, okay, we want to use this app maybe after our normal evaluation, like a yearly evaluation appraisal, performance appraisal. So we do a performance appraisal. So and we don't use the app because we are already doing a performance appraisal. It's a particular moment of the year. But we can use this application after the performance appraisal as a follow-up to monitor some other softer skills that have to be monitored, but not in that particular time because it's already performance appraisal.
How long will it last then?
Sorry?
How long will it last? Like, will they use it all the time? Like, you sell it to the client and the employees will use it all the time?
Hopefully, yes. It is supposed to be continued, for 6 months, for example, or 9 months, and then there's performance appraisal.
And what's the frequency? Like, do they get like notifications or emails saying come and like answer some questions?
We use Cycle. So basically, it works like that. You answer some questions about your colleague and yourself, and some questions. And then we wait for everyone to answer a question. We close the evaluation, we send the feedback to the people, and then we start over again. Each a cycle, it's like for 2 weeks, and there are very few questions, so it takes really like 10 seconds a day, 20 seconds a day, 30 seconds a day.
And it's different questions every time?
We can change the questions, but we maintain the dimensions, so of course, we can monitor it.
I just thinking maybe a boring experience for the employee to do the same questions like every 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So we cycle the questions, and we use gamified experience to improve engagement. So gamified experience means it's not a game, but we use gaming element to improve the experience. So what is you can answer questionnaires and that's it, or you can gain points by answering questionnaires. You can level up, you can unlock trophies, you can complete objectives. So, for example, we go into training and we say, okay, use, all right. Now you drank a potion, right? In a laboratory without knowing its effects. You are now a superhero, but you don't know what superhero. So in order to discover that, you have to use our app. You answer questions of your colleagues, about your colleagues, and colleagues ask questions about you. Now, your goal is to know what superhero are you, and you get to know that by knowing what superpower you have. And the superpowers are the dimension. So, for example, your superpowers turns out to be decisionality or leadership, and you are Capitan Americo, actually. And
we have a sample also here of the radar.
Decisionality.
Yes,
Getman, there's Iron Max, and basically we link every dimension to a particular superpower. One other thing, the more you use the app, the more points you gain. And the more points you gain, the more you level up, and you are up in a public chart, so everyone knows which is the best user of the app in the company.
Without knowing the worst one.
Without knowing the worst one, only the first one.
That's true.
Nobody wants to know when they're so.
So basically, we use this kind of element to engage employees to come back on the app. Of course, we can link performance on the app to some particular company-wide
sector also. For example, we talk with the Ferrari, and they don't want to be superheroes because that format doesn't work for the organization. So it's a mess for us. No, because we call the IT guy and we talk to the company. We understand if we can make substitutes of the image, of the logic, and we just change the experience. On the same structure, we can create every experience we want. It asks a lot of work for us behind, but you can display everything. So you pay for customization. That's the business model.
So the idea is we got this package, but if you want your own items, you want different superpowers, different superheroes, or not superheroes, whatever, we can tailor it to whatever it is you want.
Sorry, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Pay more?
For personalization. Sure.
Yeah. You pay, let's say that for this version that is gamified, but it's already done, you pay a certain amount that is not so high compared to your LinkedIn cost or other costs that you are using to evaluate employee. or to do recruitment and selection. But then if you want to change everything, it costs a lot of days for us to manage all the images and all the contents, because it changes the reports, it changes the questions, it changes totally the application. So we ask for the time we spend to change everything, plus the know-how, because we put validity and questionnaires inside. This is the classic experience. So if you don't want the superhero, you just have the questionnaire. You always tell us about other people's behavior.
This
And
straight
you
down
take the
from
radar just with the dimensions, with the report, of course.
And then, okay, so as we told, you can personalize everything. So any type of HR service, so not just a 360 and feedback. And say I want to use it for monitor stress inside the company, so we can put stress items, stress-related items, and we can see, of course, the over time how stress is perceived throughout the organization. So this is very important for us, not a questionnaire today and a questionnaire in 6 months, but continuous monitoring of HR processes. And also we work closely with the university, so whenever we have problems or whenever we try to sell something or use particular items, we speak directly to professors.
Yeah, we saw that this kind of collaboration really works. Because the big problem is that you cannot work with one leg in the public sector and the other in the private one. You just explode. So, if you want to collaborate with the university, of course the know-how is really important, but it's important also the time of delivery. So we deliver the things really fast, and we ask the university for collaboration in building the questionnaires. For the first questionnaires, we validate them on the field, based on previous researches, and then when it's validated, we can launch it every time we want. So this is a really good collaboration for us.
Can I add something?
Why not?
So these guys were really serious, like the serious part, we have this product. But I think now it looks really simple, like, no, this is this product, it does feedback, communication, okay, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. It's personal view, not even personal, even the organization say, okay, I don't like it, or maybe I like it. But the work, let's say, behind that we did, it was complicated, because it's a mess when you want to create something that it is on the market, something similar, but you have to differentiate yourself in some ways. So, for example, we lost a lot of months searching, for example, for IT guys. Now it looks simple, but searching people who was gonna like the idea and be patient to develop the product it's not that simple. And
it took 7 months to.
You have someone in Italy?
Croatia.
Croatia. Instead, yeah, cheaper.
Yeah.
A lot, like 1/3 of the price of Italian.
And better probably.
And better performances.
Yes. So another challenge is even about the items methodology behind it's a long process, because you have to identify what is the match between the science and what the people will use, because a perfect model in science usually, unfortunately, cannot be solved because it's too complicated. Nobody can understand a complex model. They're like, okay, not interested because I don't understand. Because usually HR managers don't have time. They want to understand it in really 2 minutes. Yeah. So if they don't get it, your product then it's not on the right way. No other
things are, of course, the team. We were all psychologists, and it was a big problem because we knew how to do the same thing. So we were producing a lot of questionnaires, but we didn't have the IT structure or an idea on what to say and how to say it. So we differentiate during the months. She's the sales, of course, the salesperson. The commercial one, he follows the IT guy, so he's specified in this field. And I'm doing marketing and all the communication.
I'd like to stress that this is very important. If you want to do, based on our experience, if you want to do something like that or just put on a company on whatever, in my experience, you have to have, everyone has to have particular skill, and you have to be, if you are all psychologists and you all try to do the psychology, psychologist is very different. like she is a good seller, she goes to client, I'm not a good seller, admit it, he is a good marketer, and he goes with, he prepares presentations and the website, and I like to go down deeper with IT guys, and I like to do projects and really try to build something and design interventions, so I work in the back, and you have to differentiate that, and it's really, really important. They say that in business schools, they say that we actually took some courses on how to build a startup, and that's really important.
Well, something that always says that you need the free edge, the hipster, hacker, and hustler. So someone who knows the trends, someone who knows how to sell, and someone who knows the
One limitation you do find because about sharing your, let's say, your pop psychologist background, usually you don't have a skill to sell, how to market yourself, and so on. So which are the main limitations that you see? Okay, probably I'm good at selling, but I'm not a professional or a sales professional.
I think that the limitation, because we did all the same master, so I think the main limitations of our master is that we don't learn how to quantify. So everybody will ask you the first question, what do I get from this? Like, do I save money? Do I save time? How much money? And for a psychologist, at least at the beginning, for me, it was a problem to quantify. So I was like, yeah, if there is a positive correlation, what does it mean? Positive, okay, how much? You know, I think the problem is we don't have any course about basics of finance or economics, and it's really, really difficult because they are business people. They have to calculate if the investment is worth it.
But are you in this way? Are you trying to figure out ways? I mean, I guess the process will lead you during time in signing contracts, giving the service, and having the feedback from them to understand how does it affect and which are the returns of investments of what you do. So how are you?
Let's say that if you talk about margins for us or the return of investment, we need to invest a lot in the beginning because we need to customize, to ask the client the specific needs, to engage the people. This is the most difficult thing because they are always afraid because it's 20 years that they are firing people for no sense reasons, and we need to go there, propose something that affects their behavior, and we need to explain that they are safe. So the data are secure on a different database. The HR manager can see all the aggregated data, and the return of investment is this one. When you finish the first part and you launch the application, of course there's an assistance by mail, by phone, but only in specific cases because it's so simple. And at the end, you need to provide consultancy, and this is the margin. So we spend maybe 50% of what they are giving us for the first tranche, the first payment, on customizing the application, and we save the 50%. But then we sell 150% of consultancy. So it's just something that engages them, and then we sell what we want. What we want, it means based on the needs, of course.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe I understood the question. Did you ask like the return for the company in base of, okay, yeah. So basically for the company it's more or less like you can, for example, you can diminish the turnover because if your employees develop and they they are engaged and they're engaged in a program of, let's say, self-development, you can more or less like maybe save around 6% on turnover. That's what scientific research says. So these are the numbers that we, for now, but for now we can say because they are, let's say, confirmed, but we need 1 year to have clients, to test it, and then to do, to quantify, okay, did it really happen, in the company?
Exactly.
So, because we cannot know, because this product on the market there is, and of course somebody who sells similar stuff, they're not going to tell you those data. So.
What's the follow-up after issuing those results to the clients? Because obviously you could potentially do something else after while you're doing the application. So once they say, okay, so we need to work on that, do they go somewhere else? So you give advice about actions they can do in the company? Do you follow up on that, or you just deliver the results and say this is what we're doing?
We give suggestions for actions, what to do. So some companies can say, no, I have my internal consultant, they're just gonna take the data. But when you buy just the data, it's more limited.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. If you buy the consultancy, then you have more data.
So then you do consultancy as well afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the idea is that in the future we rent the application to the consultants that have a specific background. We train them, and then they do the work. The second part.
So how do you say it? Is it just there's a license fee to use it, or is it a fixed fee, or is it time and material?
Right now is quite fixed. Let's say that once we collect all the needs and we know how to customize it, we have the price, and we sell the first the user application. Then when they have the report, we talk about the second.
How do you put the breakdown into your contract? Do you have a breakdown like this is the license for the product, this is the consultancy?
We charge for
How much is it?
More or less, it starts from 10K, but it lasts
for around 100 people.
Yeah, for 100 people and a multinational group, of course. And then if you are interested to customize, you can go up.
10K is the basic fee. This is just to use the
10K
application.
is on about 100 people that is using.
And just use the application. There's no consultancy from you, or there is consultancy.
No.
So in the price, of course, there's the initial training.
So that's the
We train
license.
people to use that, and we speak to organization in case there's a need to personalization.
Yeah.
And then there's the monthly fee, so price, per user, and then there's the report that we give to the company. So the price comprises training users.
Let's say that in this phase we are also testing what's the price we can push, because
Of course, we can push higher. We want,
depends.
but it's not so easy.
Depends.
You might also have to start
We are
from the
testing
beginning.
different business models.
Yeah.
This one is something that right now with the tester, maybe it will work or not. They will tell us, and we will redefine.
But you can do it differently with any single client, because you're not obliged to do the same pricing
course.
to any client.
Exactly.
But if they are in contact with each other, and
It doesn't matter. You're allowed to.
It depends. Sometimes, if you have the fee for worker, it is scalable. So you can say, for you, 50 workers cost X, and for 100 is X double.
Yeah.
No, this is a big discussion. We spent days about on the getting the patent, and some grants because the university has also grants for big patents. But the problem is that on softwares, if someone takes our application and changes questions and some of the graphics, is no more our brand and our product. So they can sell without being charged for anything.
It's so expensive anyway to put a
Yeah.
pattern like crazy.
That's the
expensive.
second reason.
Plus in IT it doesn't really make any sense. Maybe if you have some product that nobody else does, okay, but IT is really.
Also, maybe your university talked already with your university, but in research, experience sampling is getting quite big these days. So you might want to see this side as well, like if you, after consulting with the company, you might use the data for research as well.
Yeah,
It's
of
a
course.
valuable source
This is a
of
deal
data.
that is in progress with the university. Of course, they are helping us for nothing, so we are managing also this kind of
But
partnership.
it's like, from what I see, the experience sampling, it's quite new as well in research.
So I don't know, I need to ask you a question. Your universities, it's like Bologna's that they have difficulties to find big samples. Let's say that they can push for 4 big research during 1 year, if they are lucky and they have good clients and sectors, but most of the time they are looking for, and it's not so simple. With the kind of instrument that we are proposing, we can say we have 200 people, they need, for example, soft skills. You can push for your items on soft skills, we can test it with them, they pay less, but then you get the data. It's kind of but we need to figure out how to do it, because we cannot lower the prices like that. I mean,
Yeah, but that's the because it's a spin-off, right?
yeah.
Yes.
And does the university get a share?
No, we opted out of that option.
Yeah.
They wanted a share.
So like,
It's just a personal opinion, because we saw that the other spin-off failed with 20K debts. So
We can maybe, I don't know if somebody of you is ever planning to open with the university. This in Italy, it works they basically give like €1,000 and they get 10%. So it's really not a good deal for you, in my opinion. So you have some advantages, right? But
No, it's
No, it's not bad. That's great.
go to the bank. I would say.
yeah,
€1,000.
yeah, exactly. So it's not really a good deal.
But with the data, they have more need as a university.
Yeah.
It's getting more, yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on the revenue.
In terms of the application and the report and the feedback so far, you have it all in English or all in Italy or all in?
Right now we are working with the Italian version because if it doesn't work, so it doesn't make sense to translate it. So then the second step is to translate in as many languages as possible and have also people outside Italy that can manage the relationship with the client.
But you have to like read.
Like Alonso.
Like it is.
You have to retest all the questions to translate them because
Yeah.
we can't just translate them and assume the test works. Right? So
There's
it's
a lot of
annoying.
work to do, yeah.
To ask a couple of things. Sorry, interrupt. First of all, I wanted to compliment you because this is the first time that I hear the whole thing.
So
And
we are in Bologna.
and compliment, I don't know if the communication guy, but I really like the logo.
Also Marco.
And I have a scientist and the practitioner question. So the scientist one is before you were mentioning the best scientific approach wouldn't be possible. This goes outside of this topic, but what do you think that would be like the most scientific approach to performance appraisal, if we could stick to it?
I don't have a good answer.
No, as I told you before, we get a little bit far from performance appraisal because it's a topic that is really hot also for people that are studying it for 20 years since now. And our professor Mariani that is doing, and you know really well him, is doing this kind of research since a lot of time, told us that this is really black waters, let's say. You cannot go there and let's say do the best way because organization want to ask what they want and what time they want. So you don't have a specific model and a specific methodology. Because you can do it, but every market has its needs.
I asked because I thought you were referring to something
Yeah,
specific, whereas the practitioner part is the one you were mentioning. So you said every market has its needs, and how I don't know. Did you have like a market research or something before this? Did you?
We spoke with a lot of practitioner in HR field, HR managers. We are still writing LinkedIn to HR managers. We have this idea, is it good, cool? We still have meetings with them, private meetings. Do you like it? How can we improve this? And of course, it comes also from our experience. So I worked in IT companies, I worked in consultancy companies. So I said, okay, this might be a good idea. Let's put it in here. And we also check the big data in Europe about best practices.
I have to admit one thing. Please.
No, go ahead.
No, the marketing, researching the market in Italy is really complicated because there is no data. I don't, for example, in USA and Germany, you go online and you find all the data about the target market you are looking for. Like percentage, who is buying, how much they are paying. And in Italy, for example, those data are really not available. I don't know about Spain or other countries.
Or if they are, it takes
Like,
a lot of
they are
work to
hidden.
find the specific data. For example, one day I was asking to the commercial chamber of my region, how many small medium enterprise we have here, and they didn't know. It was incredible, really. I called them. It was 3 years ago, 1,070, and I told them, what about this year? The research is still in progress.
I don't know that in Germany it's like that, or you work in Spain. So.
I work in Spain, I wouldn't know about Germany.
Okay.
Okay, get it right on the spot in Singapore.
What?
Every year it's updated.
You
So
see,
they-
but
it's
Singapore is
Yeah, Singapore is like.
But
it's
then
really,
they
it's
switch
really,
markets.
it's really good to know that.
Yeah.
Maybe for the future.
The question I asked, do you have 2 clients, right? If I get it right?
Yeah, they are tester now.
They're
They are
testers.
little bit money right now. Let's say.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Those testers, what do you think that really like about this idea? That it's an app, it's innovative, that you have the support of the university, that's it found. Like they really focus on that in the scientific part, or it's more like, hey, they sell something that looks really good, and that's it.
The last cases I talked, yes, the university helps in a sense that we go to the initial meeting with one of the professors. In Italy, it helps because there is this attitude that if there is a senior person and it's a professor, he knows it all. In my opinion, it's wrong, but in Italy, it's like that, and in many European countries. So it really helps to have a person that kind of had experience in that field with you. But then the product, they like it because it's faster than what they have now, mainly. And it looks like a try to engage more the people. Because they don't have most companies don't have a solution for engagement.
There's also another point that is really good for us, and we just figure out when the app was quite over, let's say, which is the flexibility. And we need to thank the IT part because he made a matrix that you can improve every time you want. Some systems that we see on the market, they fail after years of revenues because they have a solid structure that can be changed. So if you ask me something different, we close the company. What we can do is going to the clients, and if they tell us everything is wrong, there's no problem for us. We thank them because we reproject every kind of structure about taking consideration their needs. So we have always their product because they are creating the product instead of us. We are just doing the work to give it the shape.
Also, they like this part. I was in a company and they said, okay, we can do 360 feedback, but what about if I want to change the questions after 2 weeks and I want this person to evaluate his colleagues, and now the next week his boss, and what about the next month I want to use these questions? Can you do that? We can. And they like the fact that we can tailor the software of the company's needs dynamically and over time and fast. They like that.
I mean, for now it's brilliant that you started with soft skills, but I think that for the future, service quality, measuring service quality will be huge as well because service sector is looking for tools to measure the service quality. It's very difficult because most of the time you have self-report, right?
Okay.
You have to ask the client and things become more complicated. But if you have like a longitudinal and
It's really helpful.
that's why like for the future, for now, you're good to see if it works.
Sure, thank you.
If I'm understanding correctly, at this point we are having more of a soft skills kind of self-appraisal. So my question is, how soon do you see yourself being able to tweak the program to do performance appraisal and 360 appraisal? How soon do you think you can be able to?
Let's say that we want to not be so like performance appraisal because honestly there are like better softwares on the market and we would be out of the market immediately. We want to sell it as a tool for self-development because we don't want that it's connected with your salary or with your promotion or whatever it is with usual. Because people usually do performance review once a year, they don't like it, plus a lot of them are scared because, once a year and if I'm bad at it, I might get fired. That's the mentality I saw in companies. So we really want to when we go to the clients, we explain, no, it's not performance appraisal. We just want to motivate your people to work better and to develop inside of the company. So I don't have a perfect answer to your question because we want
but it's a fresh topic. Yes.
Yeah, also, I very much understand Yasmin's question because how companies often do is that they connect development and performance appraisal. And for the performance appraisal, they also ask feedback from the collaborators. How do you justify that an employee has to do it twice? And or can you not take the feedback which they give for the performance appraisal anyways?
Let's say, for example, I've been last week at one company, Ducati. I've been or everybody knows it. For example, they said, I see it as a tool, I have my performance review and 360, but I see it like follow-up, let's say, sort of follow-up of what we use. So people get like used to this annual evaluation. It's not just like in that moment. So I use your tool with my dimensions and my questions during the year, maybe once per month. So people at the end, at the year, the official annual review, they are like, let's say, mentally prepared to do it, and they're not that scared because the company can even see what happened before. Because everybody can have a bad month at work. You know?
We're also asking ourselves if it's the time to take in consideration this kind of interventions or to change our face in front of the workers, because we evaluate also the quantified part of their work, or to say just we don't accept the performance appraisal, we just want to do something that is a benefit. They is perceived more as a benefit instead of evaluation.
Also, in terms of, I understand what you're saying, in terms of performance appraisal, like often companies, you might have probably known that, that they say, okay, part, let's say, for example, in bottom line, 60% is your KPIs, your performance, how have you reached it, so, and 40% is how have you gotten there, which values are you adhering to the company values, and for that I see it very powerful. Not so much for saying whether you have a result, but on this how part, I think. In the how part is usually not as negatively connotated. One question, how do you get them into Ducati? How do you do that?
She's the one, she's the boss.
What's your strategy?
What's the strategy? No, usually my strategy, which I recommend when you contact somebody that you don't have any connection with, like with Ducati, I didn't have any connection. So I look whatever has that personal line, and I try to like understand what can be some common thing that he gets his eye, you know, because he gets like thousands emails per day. So one of the strategies is on the subject. You put something that will catch his attention, you know, because like if you say business offer or I'm offering a service, probably he's gonna just delete the email.
Okay. This is really great because in fact we watched like 3 or 4 YouTube videos of this HR director, and she saw that this guy was talking about this. She took the 4 topics and she put it in the subject. That was the deal.
So basically, if you see, for example, if you see he did an interview on soft skills, I saw your video on soft skills. I have something that really connects with what you said. For example, so my strategy when I contact is always try to catch their attention with something that maybe they said in the past. So they can not say. It's harder to say no because say I said that, so sort of maybe I can.
Drop a line cognitive dissonance, you know. They say, oh yeah, I told you during an interview, I'm really interested, and they don't give a fuck, for example. But you can talk with them and you can explain, because the second step is that you can go viral, you can do black marketing, but then when you face them, you need to provide data and so on.
I prefer that strategy. I don't like to write 100 emails per day. I write 5, but I'm the whole day working on how to write those emails. So it's different strategy. I don't know which I'm still exploring, but it seems it works quite a positive way. So we will see. Statistically, in 1 year, I will tell you.
Or not.
Or not. Or we will be closed then. Okay, I'll have another job.
I would like those to receive really negative feedback, because what's the point? You told us some critics aspects, and I appreciate that. This kind of thing is not tested. So this is the moment for us to change everything. If you can make like any kind of opposition, any kind of negative but constructive comment, do it now, because you are helping really a lot.
I think.
Everybody was waiting for this.
Take a comment. It was beautiful 5 seconds ago.
Alright guys, come on the black hair!
I'll claim number 1. Just before we head into the negative feedback, I think it's really, really fantastic reviews. Guys are doing that.
Yeah.
I think many other of us would love to do that, don't have the balls, don't have the idea, don't have the commitment, don't have the self-discipline. And I'm very much at the brink of doing something myself as well. and I don't know whether I would have the self-discipline to get up every morning. If I think it's going, not think the whole time, will it go well, will it not go well, but just like keep on. And I think this is really, really fantastic and inspiring for the rest of us. So before we give you constructive feedback, let's give them an applause. I would say I think it's really
Nice to meet everyone, and I hope we can keep in touch.
Bye. So where is the line?
And then
I'm gonna sit down because
we also
I don't know
forgot
if
that we have an exercise on this. I think we are not doing it, but we can show you the link where to download this. Let's say it's another facilitation guide to design thinking. So maybe Jasmine, you are interested in particular. And I understood a lot from that when I was in the USA. That is totally different from Italy, of course. And I applied taking really a lot of flexibility from this point of view. All the steps of design thinking and brought it to Italy. They also understood how to work on it, and it's really, really good to build new products. So if you want to just download it and read it in the next days, it's really great for yourself. If you want to sell something or build something.
Destroy us.
I also like because mine is not, it's just an advice because I would be afraid you having access like an app on my phone and you have to reassure me 1,000 times that my answers are anonymous.
Of course.
That's my own.
Yeah, this is
problem.
something
Like tell the users if not your data would not have the quality.
Nobody will answer.
That's why we put training first, in which we explain how we treat data and everything. And that's why we still don't know if we're doing. We will do it, but it's still a native app, like a real app, or just keeping it on the internet with a website, so that you don't have data on your phone. It's always in our service.
You're right that we need to figure out how to sell this message more and more times, because we say it on training, and on the first access you have terms and conditions and you accept it. If you accept, you continue, or you're just log out.
Especially because you have to evaluate.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. That's right. That's really.
That was it.
That's a good idea. You catch the point, because this is the point of evaluation. And for example, in London, people are used to get like performance appraisal, but in Italy they are really scared. But they are not doing nothing, and if they take the mobile phones and they left them on the table, we are done.
Which is really weird because this is way more secure than paper questioning. Because I've seen paper questionnaires on my desk. I didn't even participate in that assessment, and in drawers, whatever, in the paper.
Taking into account that, for example, Italy is not a good market for that.
Sorry?
Taking into account that, for example, Italy is not a good market for that because you're not used to the performance appraisal. Why don't you start, for example, in Macedonia, let's say, or in France, or in UK?
Yeah.
Maybe it's what you said.
In Serbia. Or in
Yeah, it's
Croatia.
Croatia.
No, nobody would be scared to give feedback. We don't care. So yeah, you suck, you know.
Yeah.
I've got a question before I have one. In Italy, I'm not so sure, is there any like a national framework for personal development or for competency development in the industry in general? Like for example, in Singapore, like 15 years ago, we had this. No, 10 years ago, we had this structure for SQC, service quality control, or service quality indicators, such that companies actually use a lot of these. And in general, the whole nationwide, the service quality improves a lot. And after that, going to the people developer. So we have this people developer matrix and skill sets and everything. And a lot of schools, a lot of companies, big, small, medium, they all subscribe to using this people developer. And because of this people developer, we have a lot of people developer assessor and people developer manager. Like I myself is an assessor, and therefore because of this we have a lot of frameworks, a lot of different things that we can do to help
we are talking about paradise for us, because in Italy is not structured. Every kind of information it has a parallel way, so it's also difficult to take two different studies and relate them.
Right.
It's very difficult. So right now what we have is different associations and different groups, professionals also, and companies that are working in the same teams and statistics. We take also annual publication from the WOPP, Harvard Business Review, or international, let's say, HR Director Congress, and we take this data to understand if there's something that we can extrapolate and use from it. But right now, there's nothing.
There's nothing like this.
No, trust me, we became mad, really.
Then in this case, I think that Unveil have a potential to be the first mover to do something like that, or at least in the region in Italy with this app, because if this could be something that could be like the people develop a framework, because we talk about the soft skills in terms of this area, that area, and if we keep going in, if we do a lot of the data collection in this area, then it can become a big database where you can have the mean and the median, where everything is being
We
packed.
sell to Google in that. No, because I mean, there's one thing to explain, which is we can serve a certain amount of clients, because as I told you before, we have an amount of money for 1 year. We just faced by ourselves, and we told ourselves, this year I'm going to spend my free time and my working time on it without taking anything, and plus I will take like 3,000, 4,000 euros, and I will invest in this idea. But if 100 clients, but the best in the world, like Walmart, ask me to do the application and to do the intervention in their company, I'm so happy, but I can take one of them with 100 workers, but for 200 or for 5 of them, I'm not able, because I don't have money, I don't have time to serve everyone. So to be scalable, we need a lot of time. For this year, the objective is, it works or not. If it works, Eureka, it's good, it's the best. Then we will grow.
Very nice.
Have you thought of, for example, to give the application for free and then to focus on the other side of the business, let's say on the service model? Because sometimes there are a lot of applications that they are not quite the same. I mean, of course, they are not as developed as yours, but they are for free. Yeah. Sometimes you know the businessman thinks, okay, come on, I don't want to invest in an app that you have to pay like 10K per year. I think it's per year.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
It's per year. Okay. I don't want to invest in 10K per year. I prefer to do something pretty simple.
Yeah.
And after that, I would like to buy your services, which I think are really good. And I got some interesting data for my company now. Sometimes it's like this a bootstrapping strategy.
Yeah,
It's a hacking strategy. Okay. First at the beginning, let's do it as simple as possible. Okay, if it's code zero, it's much better. Usually there is a kind of uncertainty. Companies that feel uncertainty because you don't know exactly. Okay, it's my first time. I don't know how it works. So they look like, okay, they're young people. I don't know exactly how they will do it.
That's right.
So the idea would be, okay, let's do it at the beginning to see as many clients as possible, to test the tool if it works. And after that, the most important thing is the service, because these are the things that you are good at.
Yeah,
In a
of
way, I
course.
mean, you are both psychologists, so that's the idea. What do you think? I mean, it's only an idea.
Yeah, it's a difference there. We actually at the beginning and even now we are still figuring out what's the best strategy, you know. And now we are offering the testing for free for a limited number of persons to come to the company. And then if you like it, then we negotiate if you want to buy for example, 50 people of your company and so
So the most
on.
important thing is the app or the service afterwards. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the application for probably.
Yeah, for now we
yeah.
do. Yeah, we offer the app for free.
Yeah,
They
it's
buy
like
the
a
app.
mean. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's a mean to get.
to get the real money out
It's
of
a
it,
way
let's
to.
say.
It's a way to promote yourself.
Exactly.
I would say the other way around. Like, personally, I think the very beautiful thing is that it's scalable.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it doesn't need your time, it doesn't need your mind. There's lots of consultancies with people that have 20 years experience within companies, which you can't offer, but you can offer a technological solution which is scalable. That's really awesome. My question, like constructive feedback, I'll ask you a question. Let's say I'm an HR director and you meet me and you have 10 seconds to tell me what is this application doing to me positively, which is not done before. What would you say? Because I saw lots of different things. We can do this, we can do that.
Yeah, right.
There's
That's the problem. So
What is the one thing with which you get me if I'm just going up the elevator?
Let's say, let's try in 3. Go and
Firstly, it analyzes the soft skills and the behavior of the workers and makes you graphs that easily explain you the situation of the organization. And then provides suggestions for intervention on the
Okay, and what does that help to me? Like, why do I need that as a company?
Because right now you don't have something that follows you on time on your workers, and they are not satisfied if you continue like that. I mean,
So if you do it, the satisfaction of your workers goes up, and the retention of your workers goes up.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
in the best case, yeah.
Okay.
Best case scenario.
One of the best benefits is like it's a live appraisal.
Yeah, our objective is one.
But the app itself by itself doesn't improve anything. It helps to understand
No.
something. So you have to take actions.
Basically, our plan is after the first year to implement like the training inside the app. So to have with the videos of the, for example, you are low in one of the dimension we measure, then you receive like online training with the videos and stuff.
And
So
who watches the employee watches the video, yeah?
yes,
So
and then he answers
answer
questions.
My main concern is that people won't do it. I wouldn't do it. I've got too much work. Like if you ask me, and that's the same thing, and that's why I asked you yesterday, I said gamification. Even gamification is cool. I don't think I would have time at work, to be honest. I don't have time to do those things.
Maybe this will be one
And
suggestion.
I think that's your biggest issue, and then that's why you can work on it, having the commitment of the key, actors of HR or whatever. But I think that's the biggest issue, because if people don't use it,
Yeah, it's possible.
But there's thousands of apps that are left on the table every day. So
Yeah.
I understand. And we need to work on it. I don't have an idea right now, but the tester will teach me how to manage this.
Yeah.
And also, it's not only a means to gather data, but since you get feedback and you get to see your feedback throughout time, even without watching videos.
But he tells you, I don't have time. Even you tell me this all good
okay,
stuff,
so that's the
I
thing.
don't have time.
I get the feedback. That's good, but doing more stuff afterwards, getting my feedback is fine. I can read it, but I wouldn't have time to watch the videos. I think and everything. And plus, it would be a weird thing. It's like, telling me I'm not good at this. You have to do this video, do this training.
But what do you think? Like you suggested, I can ask, because we were thinking if we do it not like a video of 20 minutes, you know, not like a lesson, but like 2 minutes, really quick. So it's like let's say
like a training
knowledge
videos.
field or something.
But do you think it would have any impact really? A video of 2 minutes would change my life.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have to make a really good video.
Well, after 2 years, that you see your statistics go up and down. After 2 years, that you see the problem solving is low, or 6 months.
I'm just saying it's really for me. I don't like receiving bad feedback. So that would be bad feedback. You will focus on the bad stuff as well. Like you need to improve that.
Yeah.
There's also the emotional part as well. And I wouldn't. I'm like, fuck you, feedback. Like, I'm already like suffering, and then you're telling me this, although you're trying to improve it. It's like.
Maybe their training will be also about that, like the training that you give at the beginning. You say that you will train people to understand. So
yeah, but this is a cultural aspect that we will take into consideration because every population of every nation is different from each other. For example, in London, I see a future, and if you compare London to Italy or to east of Europe, I don't know. I think that the validity of this kind of methodology decreases.
I have another point to bring up.
Okay, see here.
Mine is related to people using it. It's related.
Go on.
He didn't.
Because you were saying that one of the main outcomes is getting people satisfied, but then you say that not everybody in the company is included in this. Like that you just choose some people to participate.
The company decides.
It is the company.
Yeah, I mean the company. Don't you think that there may be a negative effect for the people who are not involved? Like why?
That's good for them, because then the others come
Yeah,
in and they want to have
they want to buy more. So for me, it's a perfect situation.
It's not well.
Yeah, but at the beginning they are like outliers, but then they will buy for their employees.
Yes.
What if they don't? And I don't know.
But to answer the question, if I sell it to 20, and the other 10 say to like the boss hears, I wanted to, I did my work good because the company will ask for more. So that's a perfect scenario for me. Not maybe for the employees at the beginning, but you have to think when you have your own business, you have to think at the end it's about profit. It's
Sure.
not just profit, because if not, I would do.
The problem is if they don't say that. Like the problem is if they don't share it with their boss, but
They're just upset.
And don't necessarily.
My perception, but I mean I'm not that much experienced, but my perception is that the best thing would be doing it for the whole company. But then that's up to the company, of course.
And
I have a question related to the assessment per se and to the ecological aspect of the assessment, of the real-time assessment. As you know, we are working on this in another field. But one of the concern I have is how the application is built and able to assess also the ecology in terms of what a person is doing at the moment of the assessment, what is feeling at the moment, because there are biases like, for example, I may be angry with someone, I have to evaluate someone else, and that probably my evaluation is biased, or I have a bad mood and I tend to have different scores.
The answer is we give the same questions over and over time, so it's a mean. So if one particular day you're angry, you're upset, you answer, you're angry, but the next day, the next week, so this helps protecting from those.
but you can
If
also,
is repeated, you mean like you get a mean of the reality of what happened along time.
And also we can check whether a person answers too quickly. It's 4. We check the timestamps. Okay, this is where we're not including this.
And also there's some function that we didn't display that is a skip question. So if you don't know how your colleague is behaving this week, don't answer. We don't care. Because if you answer, it's a false date. So we false the analysis. If they are fakes, our work is useless.
But I
So
think
the next week maybe we will put the questions or similar questions again to the same person, and if he answers, we will take that data plus non-valid data that was done before.
I think we're ready for sangria or something.
If you want to discuss,
If not, they're Italians. They're gonna continue like 10. We're gonna be here.
I just
I'm
want
joking.
I just wanted to relate to what François said before. I guess it's pretty difficult to find a balance between encouraging employees to participate and not to overwhelm them.
Yeah.
And then they get rid of it. So do you